Mark Davis will give a blank check and leave the future of the team in the hands of a quarterback who is very strong in the regular season. Our attack still raises suspicions, and a place in the playoffs is what we want. But this agreement will cost us a lot. If you want to receive all the information about the Raiders, turn on notifications. With some major quarterback contracts being finalized this offseason, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott's price will likely only go up. The Las Vegas Raiders are one of the most quarterback-needy teams in the NFL and could be ready to be aggressive next offseason. While the price for Prescott is high, ESPN analyst and former New York Jets general manager Mike Tannenbaum believes Raiders owner Mark Davis needs to go all in on the three-time Pro Bowl quarterback. If I were Mark Davis, I have a countdown clock in my office and the plane is fueled and ready to take off, Tannenbaum said on the June 28th episode of ESPN's Get Up. And I'm giving Dak Prescott a blank check to match Brock Bowers and Davante Adams. The Raiders may be too good in 2024 to have a real chance at drafting a quarterback early. That proved to be the case this year, as the team was heavily linked to quarterbacks in the draft, but all 6 top prospects were selected before making their pick. The best avenue for the Raiders may be to try to land a big-name free agent like Prescott. Prescott controls his own destiny. He has a no-trade clause and cannot be franchise tagged after the season. The Cowboys don't have much say if he decides he wants out. From Dallas' perspective, ESPN's Bill Barnwell believes they can't let Prescott walk. The Cowboys would be more optimistic about landing their post-Prescott starter if he left for greener pastures next year, but landing the right quarterback is easier said than done, Barnwell wrote in a June 19th column. Re-signing Prescott will be expensive, but experiencing years of football irrelevance would be even more painful for Jones and the Cowboys. They can't afford to make that mistake. Prescott has notably struggled in the playoffs, but is a very strong player in the regular season. He led the NFL with 36 touchdown passes last season and is still just 30 years old. He could be a top 10 quarterback for a few more seasons. It won't be cheap, but it's hard to imagine the Cowboys not at least trying to re-sign him. It seems appealing for Prescott to be added to the Raiders lineup now. However, there are many unknowns with the team. Head coach Antonio Pierce did very well in an interim role last season, but what will happen now that he has the job full-time? Is the defense really good now after a strong 2023 season? Is offensive coordinator Luke Getsy capable of making plays for a good offense? If any of these questions are answered with a no, the Raiders could be in for a rough season. Finishing with 6 or fewer wins would not indicate a team that is just one quarterback away from being a true contender. Now, if the Raiders finish with 8 or 9 wins but are held back by their quarterbacks, then the idea of adding Prescott has to be very appealing. Paying big money to quarterbacks not named Patrick Mahomes has been a losing formula for teams, but it may be time for the Raiders to make a big splash.